right, feels so good to be back once again on the Sports Lounge, and I've got my wonderful Avengers here, and it's time to have fun. You know how it is. It doesn't take much time for us to get to the end of the show, so we're going to hit the ground running. My name is Idafi Matthew Esiogene, and I've got Ojo Olabamiji as well as Precious Omosue. Don't ask me about the scores of Chelsea because I've been gagged, banned, and warned not to talk anything about what Chelsea played about this weekend. So I'm going to pretend like they didn't play a game, they postponed their game, or probably FIFA has decided to investigate all of Chelsea's game this season and make sure they play their game subsequently. So let's pretend that Chelsea did not play this season, this weekend and the previous weekend. But it was a weekend, the first week, opening week was a weekend of Sterling, and this past weekend was the Pookie. Yeah, Pookie weekend. Nobody in the FPL saw that coming. And it means that a lot of people have dropped points. Aguero did disappoint, but he also had to fight with his coach on the bench. Once again, Villarreal, just 4 months ago, Villarreal denied Man City the opportunity to get to the finals of the Champions League. This time around again, it happened. I'm talking about Villarreal. There are some goals that have been scored in grassroots football that you cannot even argue about. You don't need to go to Villarreal. These are classic goals that should be winning the Pushkas Award. But unfortunately, I don't think FIFA is focusing in grassroots in Nigeria. That's the reason why at ELEGBETE TV we've decided to focus on grassroots. And we went to Ekpe a couple of months ago and brought these goals. And these are the goals you saw when the show started. Now, isn't it amazing that on such terrible, horrible surfaces, and I'm going to come to my crew, yeah, on such terrible, grassy, bumpy pitches, young men could score goals like that. First, let me take from you, Bam.
I love the volley. The volley was brilliant. He reminded me of the Stankovic for Inter.
Yeah.
Well, he scored a goal against Neuer, I think against Schalke. Neuer headed the ball and immediately returned.
Yes, he reversed it.
Yeah,
I think I remember that one.
It's brilliant to see that we have this type of talent in Nigeria, basically. And I just wish we can have more spotlight on this.
For you, which one was the favorite?
They have volley. But then
The one that the goalkeeper cleared out?
Exactly, yes. But one take home for me from those goals has to be the shooting technique of those players. Amazing.
Accuracy.
You wouldn't imagine that we've got such guys with that kind of finesse shooting the ball in the grassroots.
Yeah, that thing that you saw is Alex Transfiguration. For me, my best goal, because of the way the goal was created, is one scored by Obande. Now, the ball came in from the left, almost, turning away from the ball, and he still managed with a sea of leg and the defender coming against him. They have volley, the goalkeeper had gone up the line. I'm not reducing the quality of that goal. And then the goal scored by Mohamed also was also a difficult one, reminds me of Yakini. But Obande had a sea of legs in front of him. To squeeze the ball into that bottom corner was, for me, incredible. The technique, the ability to bend the ball and keep it under control. One, cross by the left fullback and into that Timothy also with the left fullback, and that ball was in the net. For me, that was excellence in technicality. But then, let's move on the show. It's the Sports Lounge again, and good to have quality pizza this time from Panaritis Pizza and our drinks from Pepsi. Having said that, within the week we're talking about why footballers get broke. As in, when I say broke, that very, very broke. They go into poverty. Let's use that word now. It seems like wealth was something in their dreams. They see money, and then after that, they become extremely broke. You told me that you're working on some documents on that. And Ojo Bamji, you have like a roundup of all of the European games. Now, many more. Where do I go first? Do I go to you? You're happy this weekend? I don't know. Are you happy?
You know the answer.
Are you happy?
My happiness is inconclusive.
Okay, that's like a Osun State election. There's going to be a rerun. There's going to be a rerun.
Yes.
So let me come to you, Ojo Bamji. There's plenty of games. Bayern Munich won the league title last season, but we're not convinced. It was more like Dortmund lost the title, and they started again.
Yeah,
Lewandowski scored, and 2-1, 2-2, Lewandowski again. So give us a roundup of European football from this past weekend.
Okay, continuing from where you stopped, that's the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Dortmund have started again with the same culprits, Alcácer, Royce, Sancho. Sancho was brilliant in that game, scored the goal, gave 2 assists. But I think Dortmund have this ability of replacing strikers that they lose.
Yeah.
In terms of goals, because when Lewandowski left, they were like, "How are you going to replace the goals?" Aubameyang came in, he beat Lewandowski one season, and now he's gone. They said, "How are you going to replace the goals?" Alcácer has come in, and I think he's showing the potential of. Bayern played a 2-2 draw, and they've gone on to foster their team with signing of Perisic and an agreement in principle with Coutinho that will really strengthen their team. Because I for one, I think Coutinho wasn't given enough time to gel at Barcelona. He is a decent player for me, and I feel he's going to do well. Moving from Coutinho, let's go to La Liga. La Liga for Barcelona. Barcelona lost to Athletic Bilbao, to Alderweireld, the man who does not want to age, scoring beautiful goals.
Ageless.
So basically, the question you have to ask is, do Barcelona really need to sell Coutinho in this, or does this mean Neymar is going to come? Who knows? Moving on to Real Madrid. Real Madrid played a 3-1 despite losing Modric to a red card. Gareth Bale played that game. He did okay. He did well, but I'm not sure he did too much to say I should be starting in week in, week out. So, what do you think of Gareth Bale?
Well, for me, if you've gone through the kind of troubles that Gareth Bale have gone through, a deal to China almost pulled through, and then his family had already packed up. So many things were involved. Coming back psychologically, looking at your coach telling you that you need to get out. Like the way he said it, like, we don't need you. You are persona non grata. I think he needs some time to build his confidence. And for me, on the strength of that, I think he did excellently well.
Moving on to 2 other leagues, Eredivisie and League One. 2 teams that we thought wouldn't do so well because they lost key players. Lyon losing Ndombele and Ajax losing De Jong and De Ligt. But they're doing very well so far. They're both top in the leagues. Lyon has scored
7?
No, 6 goals plus 3 in the first match. 9 goals, considered nothing. They look really good. But do you think they can go on to disturb PSG this season?
The quality in PSG will pull them through.
Too much.
Yeah, too much.
Moving on to the EPL. The major talk this weekend was the VAR. The VAR was trying to attack Pep Guardiola's own VAR, his vicious attacking revolution he has brought to Manchester City. But should that goal have been disallowed?
Well, before we get to the goal, I think that Manchester City are their own worst enemy in that game. Should have converted all the chances they had. Ike Gundogan got a pass from Kevin De Bruyne, who was imperious in the first half, but I mean, played it to the side. Too many chances that was wasted. Turned out again to be the one that haunt them. What's it called? Spurs were not really excellent in that game. First 20 minutes of that game, Harry Kane had not touched the ball in the open net half, but somehow they still managed to end that game 2-2. I think that if they had converted their chances, we'll be talking about VAR. Like the first game where VAR, called off Gabriel Jesus' goal. But I mean, Jesus from the cross scored, but unfortunately it was not a cross I carried from Owerri to Calvary. So
is De Bruyne the best passer of the football right now?
For me, yes, he is.
What do you think?
It's got to be. Fabregas is gone.
Yeah, for me.
What about a setting Lionel Messi?
Lionel Messi not a long range passer. Kevin De Bruyne
it's to Alba don't count.
No. I think Kevin De Bruyne does his own consistently a lot more than any other person. So it's the man.
Okay, quickly moving on. That just a quick fact. This is the first time Man City is dropping points at the Etihad since January, start of the year. Insane start. Moving on to Arsenal Burnley. Ceballos was at the start of the show. Anytime Arsenal gets a Spanish playmaker, it's always a perfect combination. Looking at Fabregas, Cazorla. Quickly moving on to Liverpool, Southampton. Liverpool looked tired.
Adrian!
No, but it's really unfair on Adrian because, I mean, he just had a perfect story. Just last year was released by West Ham.
That doesn't mean you should become a Judas Iscariot. Come on.
No, it was a poor error he reminded everyone of the glorious carriers for Liverpool. But the quality in Liverpool's side shown through. And
going forward, yeah.
Moving on to the Chelsea game. Now, we played well. It's not going to be an excuse that's going to.
We played well.
He's not going to last again for Chelsea.
Yeah,
is it?
It won't.
You were saying something about Aspilicueta.
Yeah, the first game against United, I was complaining about Aspilicueta. This same game again, Chelsea have conceded 5 goals this season in the league in 2 matches. Aspilicueta has been responsible for 3 of those goals. Rest my case.
So just before we round it up, I want to talk about two players. Pookie, like you did earlier in the show. Pookie was brilliant. He's now the joint highest goal scorer in the league with Sterling. He has 38 goals in 45 games for Norwich.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
And he destroyed the FPA. I don't like talking about the FPA because I really do not know anything.
I didn't have him in my team.
I'm the daftest guy when it comes to that, so I try to stay away from it. But I saw a video online that our producer Kalijaye showed me, and it was from the movie Pablo Escobar. And there's these guys in Nigeria who do the Legend show, who always do something like that. They do a comic relief from something that it was interesting, it was fabulous. But having said that, let's go on this break. When we return, there is still Precious here to tell us the thin line between wealth and poverty in the beautiful game of football, or sports in general, but football as our main focus. Don't forget that the Nigerian women played in the finals of the Afro Basketball, the Tigers. It was wonderful. You would hear from Ayatunde Onobolu when we return. But don't forget that the king of grassroots, yeah, he did this thing again. You would hear from him as well. And then as we push on, I'll still, bring you a bit, tell you that our push on grassroots does not focus only on football. We also go to other sports. And what better time to do that as we went out to Yabatech to see what an Olympic gold medalist, Enefe Ogudobog, is doing, trying to produce the next generation of athletes for Nigeria. Let's just take this break. When I come back, I'll give you all of that.
Kodri. I'm African Junior #2 and I'm a national champion, and this is ELEGBETE TV.
All right, we're back, and it's the best time for me to open up. Wow, it's very chill. To open up my drink, and the pizza is beginning to lose its steam, so I want to feast on it. But having said that, Precious, let me ask you this. Yeah. Nigeria is going to play Ukraine in our next friendly game. Yeah. Daniel Akpeyi is not on the squad. John Ogu also not on the squad. The excuse is John Ogu doesn't have a club. Do you think Daniel Akpeyi is being punished for letting us down in the semifinals against Algeria?
He doesn't deserve to be on the list.
He doesn't deserve to be on the list?
He doesn't.
What do you think, too?
I'll go with Precious. I don't think
well, let's see what John Ogu have to say about Daniel Akpeyi on this matter. If he was the best goalkeeper going to the Nations Cup in itself, and then during the Nations Cup, if he was really the goalkeeper that should have been in goal, or probably from all of this one that everybody in the studio, the Avengers, are saying that it doesn't deserve to be in the list. Let's hear from John Ogu.
I feel like people don't see what's going on inside, but they just see you outside.
Tell us what's going on.
For me, if you ask me, Akpeyi was the informed goalkeeper of our three goalkeepers.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Ezewa. These three goalkeepers are fantastic. These are like we are friends,
Yeah, I can see that.
No disrespect to them, Akpeyi was the informed goalkeeper, and Ezewa was just not lucky because he had an injury. He had injury a day before we would leave to Egypt. So it took him time to recover, and then Francis was looking for that rhythm, fitness, because obviously he had a big problem in his club in Cyprus. So Akpeyi was the informed goalkeeper.
Consistently playing.
Exactly. So if you ask me, I understand the fact that people don't, rate Akpeyi because they feel like he's not comfortable on the ball, But if you check the statistics of the goalkeepers in this Nations Cup, Akpeyi is in top 3.
Yeah.
He made more saves than even goalkeepers that people feel like are much better than him. So if sometimes people see us footballers like us. Obviously, you play football, you understand what I'm talking. Like people see us like, okay, we're contented with with this performance. We don't care. We only look about the money.
People say that a lot.
But it's not. That's not true.
All right, thank you very much. Now, yeah, John Ogu pretty much make us understand that Daniel Akpeyi was, by providence, the best goalkeeper, the most informed goalkeeper, and things have changed. And one player, Joe Aribi, who selected in the squad, also scored for Rangers this past weekend. And let's just hope that he continues to keep his form. I think that the friendly match, the coach is trying some more players. But then Maduka Okoye is also invited, fourth tier in the German Bundesliga. Well, I don't know. Our league have not started, so there's so much problem. Mapakaba is also having issues to get his team going for the qualifiers, the under-23 team. But we will deal with that as the show progress subsequently. Now let's go to one man who knows what it is to compete at the All-African Games, that is now African Games, and also know how to compete at the Olympics and come out with a medal. Not just any kind of medal. If Usain Bolt says and Michael Phelps says they have Olympic gold medal, this man also will present his own on the table. Not the same number with them, but will present his medal on the table and get into the room with them. I'm talking about Enefi Ogudobo. He's doing something that is trying to develop athlete for Nigeria for the future. But we caught up with him this week at Yabatech, where he has this academy where he's really training athletes, and we asked him, have we made progress or have we regressed since the last time, Sydney 2000, where they won gold by default or whatever it is? And this is what he's got to say.
Enefi Ogudobo, a two-time Olympian, Olympic gold and bronze medalist from Sydney 2000 and Athens 2004, and the holder of the African record in the 4x400 meters relay. Well, we have to find indices to use to determine whether something has regressed or developed. So what are we talking about? Have there been national records broken recently than they were before? Have we had more champions recently than they were before? So there must be something we must base it on. But if it's the quality, overall quality of like our national championship, we'll say there's a little bit of regression. But if it's the records broken in some particular events, especially in our premium events like the 100 meters, the 200 meters, we are seeing records falling recently, especially in the last 2 years. But basically in the long run of athletics as a whole, when we talk about the whole 44 events done in track and field, I don't think we have developed there. We've not had as much athletes as we have been training out. We've not had as much. Nowadays we have a champion in an event that goes 10 years or 10 national championships winning the same event. It hardly happened. During our time there was competition over one over the other. So there was a turnout of a lot of top athletes at a particular level. Now we're seeing very good and a lot of average athletes. So I would say in terms of development, there's been a slight regression. In terms of records for our major events, especially the 102, I think it's only the 102 and probably the hurdles. There has been a little bit of an improvement, but generally the 400, we have seen that our records have stayed over 20 years, some of them more than 20 years, some of them going to 30 years. So it's hard to place directly, but are we progressing as much as we should? No, I don't think so. We are not. Administratively, training, in terms of equipment, in terms of techniques, no, we are far from it. We have a lot more to do. No, we'll do well. We'll do well. In track and field, we'll do well. Are we going to dominate? Are we going to see Nigerians winning gold, silver, bronze as we do in some events? No, we won't. Are we going to be among the top 4, top 5 teams in track and field? Yes, we will. But that depends on if our top athletes decide to honor, because a few of them have been saying that they wouldn't come. But if they do come, we have a good team at all times to challenge in Africa.
Thank you very much. And I've been keeping you on the cooler for so long. Now it's time for us to get you took your research material. It's more like you're writing a project now on the thin line between wealth and poverty in sports, using football as your case study. What did you find out? Okay, so I came across a study this week that was quite disturbing, and I found out that about 40% of footballers reportedly go broke after their careers.
and another 33% of them experience a divorce just after retirement, between 1 to 2 years after their retirement. So it makes me want to wonder why these things happen to footballers. I came across a few names, some of them quite popular names. I will just quickly look at, say, two ex-footballers who have filed for bankruptcy. The first one I'm going to talk about is Eric Jemba. I'm sure most Man United fans will know him, the Cameroonian international who joined Manchester United and later moved on to Aston Villa. Eric Jemba at a time was reported by his agents to have a fleet of 10 cars. Who does that?
Me. In my dreams.
And he was juggling 30 different bank accounts. His agent said he had to spend at least 4 hours daily managing those stuff for him. It was massive.
So you didn't realize that banks were collecting commission on...
You can imagine. 30 different bank accounts. Okay, Eric Jemba currently plays...
maintenance of the ATM.
Yes, yeah.
You people do maintenance of ATM.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just saying.
So Eric
That's the
Jemba...
worst alert I ever get.
Eric Jemba at 38 now currently plays in the Swift 5th division. Man must make money.
He has to.
No.
Man must work.
No, but I think that's poor management. If you
Seriously. Eric Jemba said it was difficult to manage money for him. So the next person we'll talk about quickly is Paul Merson. Paul Merson, for those who are a former Arsenal player. He won the Premier League and the FA Cup as an Arsenal player, and then had issues with alcohol and drugs. Reportedly, Paul Merson spent over £3 million on his addictions. You know that thing they say about addictions? I heard somebody said a 7-year-old defined a habit as something you do, you want to stop, but you cannot stop. Yeah, that was the case of Paul Merson. Okay, so but Merson seems to have overcome those issues now. He currently works as a pundit on Sky.
When you become poor, it's easy to overcome some things. Somebody told me that his habit is traveling on private jets. I say it's because you have money.
Yeah.
That's not habit to pray, but once you go broke, the habit will leave you because nobody will carry it for free.
Yeah. So we have looked at the bad side. Let's also look at a few guys who are doing well. David Beckham comes to name. You just took that out of my mouth. David Beckham. David Beckham is doing absolutely well. He's the owner of Inter Miami FC here in the US. Okay. He's got his own personal brand. And I think this is something footballers currently should learn from. David Beckham built a brand for himself. Okay. Now, one other player who is not an ex.
So hold you on that. Is this not what people are shouting on Coco?
Calm down, I'm coming.
All
I'm coming.
right.
Now, a player who is not an ex-footballer, but has already built something for himself after leaving the career is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo owns an entire island.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
His wealth is gonna.
He doesn't own real estate. Real estate owns.
He's real estate himself. Okay. Something a lot of footballers don't really take so seriously is social media.
Basketballers have mastered that.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo earns a whopping $44 million annually from social media. He has 177 million followers.
And people go to social media to check butts.
Yeah. So, $44 million annually from social media alone. I think it's something that our footballers in these climes should really look at.
There's only one footballer in Nigeria, in the Nigerian climb, that are really active on social media. A big soccer player, Abu Aziz. One of us on ELEGBETE TV anyway. Abu Aziz, and then John Ogu also does well, and then Jude Oduegalo.
Did he talk to once?
They still learn. Jude Oduegalo also does well on social media. Other than that, then Ahmed Musa and Shehu Abdullahi also trying. Other than that, the rest are as bad on social media as they are bad when you interview them. I hope they up their game.
So I'll quickly talk about two more guys. Okay, one of them has to be Matthew Flamini, former Arsenal player.
Quite rich man.
Yeah, Matthew Flamini is the co-founder of GF Biochemicals. they are in a 30 billion pound industry. Matthew Flamini is rumored to be a billionaire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I heard of that when he was playing for Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay, and then Ryan Bertrand currently owns a fintech company. That's still a playing footballer. He's still playing, but then has already built something for himself. Now, I found out that three key things are responsible for the financial challenges that these guys face. And one thing has been very common. A lot of them suffer from terrible financial investments.
Yeah? Wilson
Oruma, key guy. Okay, suffered from such a terrible advice, fell prey to unscrupulous elements. Okay, and then another thing,
family problem.
Yeah, another thing is gambling. Gambling is something.
Let me tell you one thing about gambling. I've heard every time on social media, I hear people talk about sportsmen gamble too much. Let me tell you why. When you're on the plane, when you're on the coach, and by coach I mean long bus.
Yes.
The buses is called a coach. When you are not playing the game, everything you do is card, gambling, betting. I will score this, I will score that. So the betting culture is within the sports.
I love that. The word culture.
It's within the sports. So when you get off it, you don't know how to stop. When people blame Mayweather, I look at them that you don't understand. But, I mean, we don't really have time. I would have allowed you to go on. I think we'll make it a part 2 on this one.
Yes.
Straight away, let's go to the other studio and see what Emmanuel Sebastian I've got. I mean, I heard about kits unveiling and the Super 6 is about to start a whole lot. So let's get what Emmanuel Sebastian is cooking. But before we get Emmanuel Sebastian in, I think it's time for us to go to this basketball studio and get what's it called? Ayo Tunde Onobolu, all the way from United States of America. Ayo, what's happening there?
Man, thank you so much for having me. I must say it's always a proud moment to have to share the airwaves with you absolutely incredible analysts of sports. Yo, I'm not kidding, man. You guys are phenomenal, and I couldn't be prouder to be a part of the Sports Lounge crew on ELEGBETE TV. And I must say, guys, welcome to the best of basketball with me, Ayo, on Sports Lounge, only on ELEGBETE TV. And I am hype. Yeah, I am hype. You know, Draymond Green level type of hype. That's how I am right now. Congratulations to D Tigress of Nigeria for showing Africa that we are the team, not the team to beat, the team to respect. Because back to back, 2017 they did it. 2019 they've done it again. Champions of Africa for 2 straight years. This they did by beating the host nation Senegal in the final 60-55. A dominant display. Don't let the scoreline fool you. The game wasn't close. The only reason Senegal had anything to cheer about was because Nigeria missed 18 of 31 free throws. Come on, man. Meaning if we made 5 out of the 18 missed free throws, we'll be talking about a double-digit, one-sided victory for Nigeria in the most important game of the tournament. So dominant were those ladies. Congratulations to them. I say they showed what? Character, they showed courage, they showed composure, and they showed all-round class, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Congratulations, Nigeria. Isn't it Kalu, the beast of the team, starting the job from the point guard position, was named the tournament MVP. That girl's go squad, and she's a whole nother level of mood. And joining her in the teams all the best 5 of the tournament has to be Evelyn Akato, our own double machine. Nigeria was just flat out incredible. Congratulations to them. And who knows, maybe AfroBasket 2021 will be given to Nigeria to host, and we can just complete the 3-peat and we can decide, hey, we ain't competing at Africa level anymore. We're dope, we're good like that. Now, whilst it's good news for the Nigerian ladies, the men, I don't know how to put this. They're preparing for the World Cup, which starts on August 31 in faraway China. But then some players took to social media at the start of the weekend to complain about the fact that allowances for their camping were not paid. They went to Twitter, guys like Ike Iroegbu, Stan Okoye, and of course Ekwe Udo, and they wrote there that they were concerned that the Sports Commission, I'm sure they meant Sports Ministry, that money had not been made available to them, and because of that they had to spend their own personal money to take care of themselves whilst in camp. I don't know how to react to this. It doesn't make any sense that just a few days to the start of a global tournament, perhaps the most important tournament at national team level that a player will play for his country, and things like this are still happening in 2019. Do we ever learn as a country? Whew, I cannot explain. And hopefully this won't derail the concentration, the focus, the drive and passion these guys have to get the job done for Nigeria. Coach Alex Nwora is on record saying he is targeting a podium finish for Nigeria, meaning Nigeria finishes either first, second, or third. It's possible, but when things like this begin to kill the morale and the spirits of the players involved, you can't be surprised if they just go there and get eliminated in the very first round. Hopefully that will not be the luck. Let's quickly travel out of Nigeria and go all the way to the United States of America, where more guys have continued to withdraw from the national team going to the World Cup, the United States. Now, lately, it's PJ Tucker of the Houston Rockets who actually sustained an injury on his right ankle. So he's had to go back to Houston to have his condition evaluated and get ready for the new season. And De'Aaron Fox, who's supposed to be the backup point guard to Kemba Walker, he's also pulled out of the team. And his reason is the same reason most of the other guys who withdrew had. The fact that they want to concentrate on building their body and building their game ahead of the new season of the NBA, which I promise you is going to be one of the most competitive seasons we have ever witnessed in the over 70 years of the NBA existence. And then some people are thinking maybe because of that the United States are now beatable. Yo, don't get yourself deceived, man. Y'all need to calm down. The United States remain the favorites to win the World Cup. Greg Popovich is the head coach. Steve Kerr, NBA Finals in the last 5 years, 3-time winners of the Golden State Warriors. He is the assistant coach. Come on, man. You can't beat that, can you? And then the United States showed us exactly what they have in store. They beat Spain in an exhibition game at the start of the weekend to let the whole world remember that we're still talking about the United States. The United States of America, they've won more international tournaments even before professionals were allowed to compete, starting at Barcelona 92. They still dominated the world. Don't be deceived, man. These guys are still very much favorites to win the tournament. And on that note, I'll be calling it a wrap on this episode of The Best of Basketball with me, Aya. I'm going to hand you back to the Sports Lounge crew for another level of the show. But before I do that, I'm going to encourage you, follow this channel if you're already not doing that. Like our videos, drop a comment in the comment section. And one more thing, let someone else know about the good news of this channel and the incredible shows that come out of it. Till I come your way next week, it's clutch time, baby. Guys, you have the floor.
All right, thank you very much. And it's so nice, looking good, and feels very, very great to have you all the way from the United States of America. I want to say thank you very much, Ojo Bamiji. And the statistics, man, thank you very much. Don't worry. I mean, we play well FC, will come good. Remind me of what Arsenal used to be. This is how Arsenal fans used to say for the past 10 years. We play better, our style is good, we play entertaining football, we don't pack the boss. Don't worry, it will come good. Don't sack Frank Lampard, keep paying. Tammy Abraham will come good. No, it's a low budget Bansi. It will come good. But let me go to a place where they don't have low budget Bansi, they're doing well, everything is fine, and it's the Surulere League. And one man is there ready to give us the update from that angle, Emmanuel Sebastian. And that is the man with which we end the show today. Thank you very much, Ojo Babaji, for the European roundup, and thank you for giving us statistics on wealth and poverty in football. I know we'll continue this conversation again as we go forward and try to look for a solution to it. I remain your brother and your friend. You guys love to call me the ELEGBETE One of Sports. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment, and thank you for all of the comments you brought in. We have really seen them, read them, and we appreciate them. Please share our content with your friends and let them know what we're doing. But as we go, we want to say this: be the best of who you want to be. It's not just enough to dream it. Put in the hard work. There is no such thing as overnight success. Forget what whoever is written on Forbes list or whatever list. Write your own list in your heart. Work very hard. And let your failures of yesterday be a lesson to you. Let nobody tell you that you cannot be the best of who you want to be. Let our story inspire you, and let your story also inspire some other person. Emmanuel Sebastian, it is over to you, and this is how we say bye-bye.
All right, when you see me on the show, just know it's another session, the grassroots session on the Sports Launch Show on ELEGBETE TV. And this time we are all the way to Starbase Football Club, participating in the Mock Nations Cup organized by the Bagada Grassroots Association. And they made a good account for themselves, going all the way to the final. As you can see on your screen, these teams have African teams attached to their name. Just to tell you, it's a Mock Nations Cup. Just to run you down on their road to the final, they played footballer base, on the group stage, and they won 4-2. They also played Royal Strikers, winning 2-0, and they also played Red Carbites, winning that game 1-0. And their fourth group stage game was against Biomass FC, also winning that game by 4-1. In the round of 16, they played FC Oworo, Legend FC Oworo, and they won the game 2-1. In the quarterfinal session, they played Current FC, and they won the game 1-0. And in the semi-final, they also won against Shedrack FC, 3-2. And in the final, they lost as well in the final. What a way to lose that game, and it was an exciting experience for them. As you can see, they represented Burundi in the Mock Nations Cup. Talking about another team who also did well from themselves in the tournament is Adonese Stars International. This is a team that participated in the Trem Cup as well, and they went all the way as well onto the final, which will be played on the 31st of August. They played Maryland FC as well, losing that game 3-2 as well in the first leg, and in the second leg they redeemed themselves by winning 2-0. In the round of 32, they played Peculiar, and they won 2-0. They also played in the round of 16 against ELEGBETE FC, and as well winning that game in penalty shootout. In the quarterfinal, they come against their fellow Surulere League participants in Danas FC, winning that game 1-0. And in the semi-final, they won 2-1 against Koshak FC. And talking about the Surulere League, yes, just last night, we saw Haggai Sportswear, launching, giving kits to all the team in the ongoing Surulere Regional League. It was a wonderful experience, wonderful event. As you can see on your screen, teams looking good, looking bright in the official kits sponsored by official Haggai. Like, just to let you all know, Haggai Sportswear are the official kit sponsors of all the 34 teams in the ongoing Surulere Regional League. Good one from Haggai Sports as well. As you can see on the screen, players and teams donning the jersey, the kits presented to them by Haggai Football Club. And that will be all on the edition of Grassroots Session on Sports Launch on ELEGBETE TV, as I leave you with highlights of Starbase Football Club against their final opposition in the ongoing Coca-Cola Grassroots tournament organized by Bagada Football Club. Enjoy.
Please, Smiley, this guy is something else, I tell you, he's really, really spotted up. But there's a long walk. Oh my! The defender for the result! Oh! It's very much well, and a barrel wall. It's a bonus moment, and equalizes. This is Burundi for Gudu. Now they are moving forward, oh dear. And they have an opportunity with the ball.